Hello and welcome to AntipoDnD, a show in which a bunch of Australians play Dungeons and Dragons in a setting partly inspired by prehistoric Australia and New Zealand. I am David. I'm the Dungeon Master in slightly better health than last week. Yay! I am joined by April, Kindwin, Doug and Zindy, who are my players. And we left in a... last session we finished in another place of drama, with our heroes having scouted out a giant Angophora tree in the Grimwood, which they've concluded is the titan of Val, the goddess of the wilds and nature. But it has been corrupted by Ashruith, the god of predation and murder. While they were discussing what to do next, and Orinala, the druid of Val, made it clear that she did not want to leave it in this current state, and asked and suggested that if she were to be able to touch it, she might be able to get something done. You were all rudely interrupted by a large arrow striking Dagmar, who was in the lead. And as you look down to find the source, you see Ashruith himself, the god of predation and murder, who I have art of.
Art?
Somewhere.
Boy?
I was so prepared, and yet I'm not.
That's
Sure,
exactly
man.
how
Bundle of
DMing
red
works.
flags.
Please?
There you go.
Just a man in a
nice.
loincloth, is
You
it?
said he had a beard. I
Hey.
feel cheated.
I did not say he had a beard.
You didn't
You
say he had a
evoked
beard?
a character reference.
Yes, I said
with
Gerard Butler from 300,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Ashruith is actually clean-shaven.
Oh, gross. All right.
Is his body also clean shaven?
Sorry,
yeah, he's
what?
Greek.
Does he have chest hair, is what I'm asking.
Yes, but I couldn't be bothered painting it.
Okay. Wait, your
Just
phone's
film
also
it.
dark,
Does he have
so
it? Is he
you know,
bald
wait,
under
okay.
that gold mask?
Oh, like with
or-
Dagmar's perception, you'll see that there is some short blonde hair behind it.
Oh yeah, she's not into this guy.
That's a dramatic change in tune from last week. But anyway,
Again,
the
you said
impression that you
Gerard
gave us-
Butler, and we were all like, "Ooh,
Yeah.
beard," and then I got onto Michael Fassbender in 300. He's called the.
I was imagining Jared Butler from 300 fighting Jason Momoa and Aquaman. It's really nice.
Amazing.
anyway, there is Ashruith, and he has made his surprise attack. So it is now time to immediately drop you all into initiative. So please
Where's
go
my
to
thing? I've got to remember which thing to press because I forget every
Swords.
single time.
Swords.
Trust swords.
Yep. Because in
Why do I always
Roll
roll
20.
that low?
roll 20, it's a fist.
Wizard should go first anyway.
Seriously, this is what you use your nat 20 on?
I clicked
Bard
the thing.
always
Oh,
goes
wow. Mozart wants nothing to do with this shit. Nothing.
I don't love.
Dagmar
I don't
also
love you
deeply
going first.
uninterested after being fucking javelined.
Yeah, I remembered because last time I said some kind of elvish Lord of the Rings thing, but what I meant was Anor Londo.
So we need to just clarify how high you all are.
I am so high.
You can
Mozart
also
high on drama and God.
you can also modify your current formation if you like. I just sort of threw you in there arbitrarily, but assumed that Dagmar and Orinala were at the front because she was
Yeah.
leading
Yeah.
towards the
We're on a
target.
burn
Well, see, it's probably not that close. Oh, I'm colliding with the wall, so I'll go in the corner.
You should be able to move through that.
Let me try again.
Oh,
No.
you just can't arrow through it. It's like an invisible wall, but you should be able to drag
Hmm.
yourself over it.
No,
I am
Eliza, at
dragging.
least one wall.
Oh, now it's working. It worked when you put me outside the wall. Now I can move freely in this nether space.
Okay. So the crown of the
Okay.
tree is
Oh.
about 120 feet high. And you will all be a bit higher than that. So how high, much higher above the top of the tree are you?
Mozart
Probably
was actually
not that much higher.
Mozart probably actually was fairly high up, because not being the person talking to the tree, or intending to like do anything really to the tree, he probably would have been sort of trying to watch out.
That makes sense.
I'll be
Yeah,
quite
I don't
low
think the
because
rest of
I
us is
was
super.
moving into blight range for the red stuff.
Okay, what is
Dagmar
the
is wherever Aranala needed her to be.
what is the range on blight? So I mean, how close?
30, so I don't know that I necessarily got that close, but I
Okay.
would have been moving sort of with Dagmar and Aranala at least to some extent.
Well, why don't you set your height to 150, so you're 30 above the tree?
Okay.
And to do that, when you right-click on your figure, there at the box in the top left, you can just set that to whatever you want. You can type it in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll work, you devil.
And you should then get a little display above your token showing how many feet high you are.
Dungeon Master, can you let me back inside the wall and we can just pretend that I'm outside the wall? Thank you. Feet.
Okay.
Movement.
I kind of just want to put 150 so that it's not all on different
Yeah.
levels and crazy.
It's okay. The nice thing about having the number is that
I'm so stupid.
You can
because
calculate how to hurt you when you fall.
and because it's visual, because it's actually visually on the map, it reminds us of how high people are. So it's a bit easier just to keep track of this sort of thing.
Did that work? Oh, it didn't work. Hang on. Sorry. Ignore me.
No,
How dare you?
you're just too
Wait,
pretty.
sorry. The tree's 120 feet tall, isn't
Yeah.
it?
So if you're 120 feet high, then you are basically in the tree.
Yeah, no.
And keep in mind, I've drawn, the branches and limbs and everything. Imagine there are also lots of red leaves around, but I didn't want to obscure everything with them.
Sorry, I keep forgetting to press enter.
Okay, so Ashruth has had his surprise round. So let's go into combat. And the first one to go is not Vatericus, because someone else rolled higher.
Uh-oh.
Emerging.
Oh God.
My God.
Whose side is she on?
From a branch is a
Probably not
dryad.
great.
A
Because
dryad,
nobody
Definitely
is on her side.
Nice.
dryad I also have artwork of, actually.
More
It's a
eyes?
sexy nightmare dryad.
Oh, this is one of the weird blood ones. Okay.
Oh, she's the weird blood one? Yeah, I remember her.
That was a Neroid.
That was true. So this is a... Well, no, is this the one from... that we have seen elsewhere also?
I
Because
have
this one looks
shown
maybe
you
new.
artwork
I feel
of a
like I need to start getting suspicious when you randomly send us artwork of a random fantasy
See,
character.
here's the thing. I have shown you artwork of this character in a different context. I
Yes.
showed you how she appeared to my
Yeah,
home team, to my home party.
right.
Because they met her much sooner than you did. So when they met her, she had yet to fall under the influence of the red weed. But looking at her now,
I have to go to masquerade.
you can see she's got the sort of charcoal black bark, the deep red bleeding eyes, and you realize, this is probably the dryad of this tree, who has succumbed to the same corruption that plagues the tree itself. And
Is inclined to take this quest earlier, and now she's angry.
and she gets to go first. Which is actually really cool because I think she has this ability.
Uh-oh.
Don't pee on her, you will get pregnant.
Okay. Oh dear.
Oh.
Did you just kill someone
Again.
again?
Is someone being knocked off a broom and hurtling to their death?
Well, one
I'm
magic
not
item
healthy.
within 120 feet.
Oops.
So, whoop.
But we're loaded.
Oh yeah,
Or a
definitely
nice
within
broom.
120 feet.
Yeah.
So,
Look at this.
Nice flavor.
There's no roll, nothing to check. If the magic item isn't an artifact, its magical properties are suppressed for 10 minutes.
Is this a spell or a
Stunning.
thing?
It is an innate ability.
No, I can't help you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Can't do shit against innate ability.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Fey Dryad thing. Immediately, Orinala and Dagmar are falling.
Ooh.
Let's see.
It'll take you a hot second to get to the ground. You're alright.
1 round. You will strike the round on your turn.
The
Oh.
ground.
The ground.
And that, but that is the Dryad's turn. Vatericus, you have just seen a Dryad appear, point its hand towards the broomstick, and you are smart enough to know that Dagmar and Orinala are in for a rough ride.
Yep. I sure am. Well, in that case, how much do we care about Orinala? Real quick.
Again, something, right? Can she turn into a bird on her turn, or will she hit the
That's true,
ground?
she can turn into
or
a bird
can
on her
she-
turn.
Can she
Yeah,
turn
I
into a bird first? I don't know. This is for the dungeon master.
I mean, she's a druid. She has more options open to her.
I can do magic and stuff if you wanted to do something with Tarek. It's up to you. I'm not metagaming. You can do whatever you want.
I do, but also Dagmar is now falling significantly. So what I am going to do is I'm going to pull out my drift globe, spin the ring of the grammarian, and use it to cast flight on Dagmar.
True.
Full.
Because of light.
Flight.
Because of light.
Okay.
Flight.
Light, is that level
It-
1?
I
No,
wasn't gonna tell you. I heard-
fly is flight. Well, I mean,
No, light.
flight's not a spell, right? Fly is.
Light. Is light a cantrip? I really hope it is. It's a cantrip. Fucking yes. Okay. I'm going to cantrip light
Okay,
and spin it to flight.
into flight. Because it's a cantrip, I will say it lasts for 1 round and is concentration.
Bam.
Fuck.
Gosh.
But,
What do you need concentration for? You're
But-
fine.
importantly, she is not... Dagmar, you start to feel yourself falling, but you no longer feel it. Yourself falling.
Right.
This is... For me to balance the Ring of the Grammarian, I don't want a cantrip to have the same ability as, the fly spell, for example. That would
Right.
basically make fly a useless spell. And
So
I'm not
basically,
going-
like, drop me to the ground without impact, I'm guessing? Yeah.
pretty much, you can fly down to the ground or land on a branch or something like that. You
Like a
on,
feather fall. That's
on
nice.
your turn.
Nice.
Orinala is going to... Vatericus, sorry. Anything else on your turn?
Yes, because that was just my action, but because I have a deck that I've been steadily putting spells into over the last little while, and I can cast spells out of that as a bonus action, and I've only cast a cantrip so far this turn, I am going to blight the Dryad. Because it's closed.
Okay.
Nice.
So I am going to move over here somewhere so that... Oops. Why does that movement collide with at least one wall? Ooh, I can only get to there. No. I found a wall.
How did
She
you...
is very wallish.
There are no walls there. There should
Strange.
not be any walls there. There are walls there. Oh, right.
Please.
All right, I shall delete this wall.
Wonderful. I'm also not planning to get that close. I have discovered where 30 feet is, and I'm reasonably happy where I am. Yeah. Let's blight the Dryad.
Yep, there is a
It's
ground
out of my
layer
deck.
for this map which has some basic walls in it, and I've just gone and deleted them because they're complicating things.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay, you should all be able to move freely now.
Thank you, DM.
Thank you.
Yay. There we go.
Okay. Con saving throw from the Dryad, please. Magical plants has throw with disadvantage.
Magical plants.
Mhm. If it's not a creature, it doesn't make a saving throw at all.
She is a creature. She is a medium fae. Medium-sized fae.
She
And
counts as a plant, then probably not.
double check, but I'm fairly certain
I think so.
plant is a different category to fae.
Yeah, believe so.
Yes, I think so.
It's a shame. Wrong keywords.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Not a bad idea, but not quite.
Yeah.
Okay. But she still has to make a con save.
She does still have to make a con save.
All right. Not her best stat. Ooh, only a 9.
A 9 is
Ooh.
insufficient. So I'm not dealing maximum damage to her because she's not a plant creature or a magical plant. So she will take 34 damage out of Blight Necrotic.
Okay.
Here.
So she points at the broomstick. It starts to fall, and then immediately you see as Vitaricus retaliates, and you see some of her leaf-like hair start to wither, and some of the sort of bark-like skin, the softer stuff that isn't charcoal, actually starts to almost blister and burn. And she winces in pain, but he's not happy about that, but he's not bloodied or anything like that, just so you know.
That's fair. I might use the last little bit of my movement so that I'm hovering over a branch of some description.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Cool. And that's your turn?
That is it. I'm out of everything now.
Okay. Orinala is going to do what Orinala does, and she is going to change shape into a Microraptor.
Good.
Dragon.
Nope, she is not that higher level druid, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's all right.
That's a shame.
And she is actually going to fly down to and actually land on the branch of the tree, and all you see is this little Microraptor land on the branch and then sort of wrap its wings and all 4 wings, because Microraptors basically have sort of like 4 feathered limbs for both arms and legs. They're a bit different to birds. And so she does something, but you don't know what. And I'll do a secret roll for her.
Yeah. Another nat 20, come on, Orinala.
Okay, noted. And just another quick roll. Okay, cool. Dagmar, it is your turn. You were falling, but now you are not. You are flying. You're not entirely sure why.
Dagmar is gonna call the video and ask how long this is gonna last.
Not long.
All right, going down. Dagmar will land.
Okay, on the ground or on a branch?
Ground.
Okay.
It's a long way down.
That's very far away down.
Yeah, she would like to prepare herself to get the fuck away from this situation.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. A long way down is probably a good place for Dags to be right now.
Yeah, the only problem is you can't fly at a speed of 120 feet.
Right, I'm
Bonus action
taking
dash?
a direction. Oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
If you dash,
So she's a rogue?
Yeah. I can take extra.
Yeah, dash is a bonus action, still do all your other stuff.
Yeah, April, what is someone's fly speed when they're flying?
It's 60 feet.
60 feet. So with the bonus action to dash, you can move down 120 feet, which will put you 30 feet above the ground.
Oh yeah, I'm headed downwards. And calling back, not explicitly that we should run, because don't want to tip off the angry god, but gonna yell bye.
Okay, so as you go down, I'm going to hide the canopy layer.
It's a shame the That's Barbecue was a different game.
And
But if there are wolves down here, I'm going to be very mad, David.
there are no
my
wolves
dears.
that you can see at the moment, but you do see a
At the
turtle.
moment. Oh,
Oh.
Total!
is it a fucked up turtle?
How corrupted does this turtle look?
Well, this
How many
turtle,
orifices have blood pouring out of them?
this
Oh
turtle,
god, it just got very red down here.
yeah, this is what the
Ooh.
this is what the ground looks like, and you see that there is actually a stream, like a river of blood, flowing through and around the base of this tree, and rising up out of it is a very sweet-looking turtle.
Oh my god, did Quee get fucked up?
Quee has succumbed to the red weed. I checked with my
Your
mum.
mother a boss?
I checked with my mum. She gave me permission to do this.
Oh no. Okay, we
my-
can fix it. We can fix it. We can fix it.
Uh,
I guess I better get down there with an uncurse then.
All you hear from Dagmar is shrieking.
okay, so Quee is now in the initiative order.
I knew it was going to be Quee.
Fuck.
Knew it.
I mean, yeah, how many other turtles have we met who are druids hanging around the bloodweed tree?
Who last we saw was like, if you dickheads aren't going to look into this blood thing, I will.
Hey, it was either that or vampires, man.
We weren't onto vampires yet. We were just trying to fuck off home.
For what it's
In my
worth,
heart.
for what
I
it's
knew it
worth,
was
Heron's Perch would have been very different had you chosen to visit it after the vampire
That's right.
situation and let that fester for a while. But Dagmar, you still have your action.
Dagmar would like to ready a shot, but she's not gonna take it.
Ready on what condition?
If Quee should attack.
Okay. All right. Well,
That tone of voice was I've got bad news for you tone of voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take the first shot at the nice turtle we abandoned in the forest.
We didn't abandon her in
She's
the
a
forest.
giant, she's
We abandoned
Jordan.
her at a crossroad.
Yeah, exactly.
so it is Quee's turn.
Oh, Christ.
So many options.
Yep.
Oh.
Quee turns into a rock elemental. Vatericus is going to have some feelings.
It's called PTSD and it's natural.
It has to be Quee's go-to spell,
Oh no.
which is Moonbeam.
Ah.
Yay!
Fuck.
We did not rest between fighting the big
No.
scary druids and confronting a
No.
god.
Which they're going to cast at 5th level, using a 5th
And you
level
are-
slot.
So far away from me, I can't help you.
We really
Yeah,
need to get
I
out of
can't
here.
spell either.
We have stumbled into an encounter that is too high.
Conveniently, everyone's way too far apart for me to teleport, so it's great.
Okay. So, it's a silvery beam of pale light.
Stunning. Gonna do what I do in Skyrim and just like dash and hope for the best.
Range 120 feet, so Dagmar is the only one really within range from the ground. So it will be on Dagmar.
Oh.
So it'll be there. So it's basically a cilium, a column of pale light, 5-foot radius, 40 feet high, with this dim bluish light filling it. And when a creature enters the spell's area for the first time or starts its turn in there, okay, we will come to that later.
Not okay.
Oh
Does that
dear.
trigger Dagmar's reaction?
Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Range 100 feet. No, okay. Kui almost decided to attack Orinala instead, but is just a tiny bit out of range. So, it is what it is.
That's fine.
So that was Kui's action.
Mhm.
And I think that's going to be it. Kui is going to come up out of the blood up onto the muddy shore, and this blood is just sort of dripping off. You can see that Kui, the moss on Kui's the back of Kui's shell has all turned red with the corruption.
Nice.
Now it is Ashruith's turn.
Does Dagmar get to shoot back?
Yes, because that would definitely qualify in its attack. So Dagmar, please shoot my mother.
Oh, I feel so bad.
Why'd you
now
have
I'm
to
like,
say it like that?
maybe I'll roll low. I did roll low. Does a 14 hit your mother?
It does not.
Okay.
Just bounces off the shell.
Bonk.
Art's not in it.
The Dagmar doesn't want to kill Kui. But also, she's very stressed.
Okay. Back to the canopy.
Uh-oh.
And Ashruith. Once again, so many options.
What is happening?
First of all, he's going to say, he's going to shout out, I've accepted your challenge. I really was expecting more of a fight, though.
Unbelievable.
This is so your fault.
Oh, sure.
He sounds very jovial. If we tell him, look, we'd like to come back at full strength to give you a proper fight, he might.
Right? Isn't he the
Yeah.
god of murder and fighting? Doesn't he want a good fight, a good fair
He's just
fight?
a god of murder. A fair fight doesn't murder is not a fair fight.
That's true.
He sounds nice though. Let's just be like, yo, bruh.
There is no martial pride in this dude, bro. There's just ganking people.
I mean, I like him no matter what. So like, I'm fine. I don't mind.
He's stopping to gloat.
I like a
Very
showboater.
Okay, Ashruith is going to shoot Photericus as the one who made the initial challenge.
Yep.
Valid.
You're gonna take a telephone pole and die again. I don't have any more diamonds.
So,
Right.
Photericus, I'm going to ask this just to flex, really. Does a 33 hit you?
Silvery barbs, motherfucker. Roll again.
God. What is the lowest he can roll? Is it like a 31?
Well, we just got a 21.
21 will still hit, but it's not as bad.
Yes, hey,
Morzod has
everything
advantage on his
hits
next
you.
attack roll.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I thought I fixed that. Right. You are going to take 11 points of piercing damage. He rolled low.
Mm-hmm.
Nope,
Thank
that's
God.
not right. Just a moment.
Yeah, you said it.
I
Sorry,
didn't.
sorry, 111 points.
I didn't put in the correct formula for this, so I have to roll it manually.
My
That's-
mistake. You are
That's
now
more
dead.
like it. That's 22 points of piercing damage.
Okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And I need a constitution saving throw from you, Photericus.
I'd rather not.
We're already very low
That's
on
a
rat
3
bites.
total.
How close are you to Morzod?
Weren't we
Actually, at one.
blessed? Did we get blessed? Didn't Morzod bless us before we came
Yeah.
down here?
Yeah.
Yeah, Morzod
Not gonna
blessed us. Oh,
Not on a 3.
Yeah, it's not going to. It's not going to do it.
sorry, bud.
Shit.
I tried.
Okay. Photericus, as this bloody bow lodges into your shoulder, it immediately boils away and disappears. But you are now bleeding from that hole rather profusely, more than you want.
Anime
You now
character.
have a condition that I've made up because it doesn't exist in 5th edition called bleeding. You're going to be taking regular damage for a time.
Easy.
Man was already
rebuild, motherfucker.
smeared on a rock earlier today.
It's a real Rivers of Blood
Rivers
situation
of
we've
blood.
got on our hands here.
In a
Yeah.
bow, you prick. No, it's all fine. It's fine.
And okay, and he is then going to use his bonus action to hide.
Oh.
So he's going to, the last you see is he shoots the arrow and then jumps off the branch, and you think he's either going to the ground or just leaping onto another branch, but you all lose sight of him.
Buddy, I've got guiding bolt.
Okay. Orsi.
So Dagmar. So where's Aranella? She's how far down is she?
She is 30 feet below you because she is on the top of the tree. She is touching one of its branches.
Right. And Dagmar is right down the bottom where?
Yeah.
I am...
Not on the ground. Not on the ground.
I'm like
she's
30 feet above?
30 feet above the ground.
I
Couldn't you
couldn't
have
find
used
the
your
place to
movement
put in
to-
my stuff.
To drop as well, so like bonus action dash, and then you've still got your 60 feet of movement out of just normal movement.
No, it was movement and dash that got it down 120 feet in the first place.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dash is just move again. Sorry, it's not double move, is it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Ignore me. Sorry, carry on.
Gosh, I really don't have anything I can do. Can I 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Can I stabilize this idiot? Can I shove some more rocks into his chest so he stops bleeding or something?
Give me a medicine check, please.
I
Precious
ain't
jabs
got
in the
no-
shoulder, being like, one of these has to work.
I ain't got no spells that I can do that won't make us all drop out of the air.
Fucked my tattoo as well, the prick.
Medicine?
Medicine, please.
Oh, pretty good, 18.
That's enough. That is the DC
Hey!
needed for a medicine check to stop the bleeding.
Okay. Well, see,
Hey.
it's just shoving some rags in there. It's bleeding.
Cauterizing with lightning bolts, just like, psst.
You don't have enough blood left in you.
I sure don't.
And just
cool.
as a free action, are we leaving? And we'll just leave it at that. Not loud
Okay.
enough that I think Dagmar might hear because she's too far down, but enough that Mordor and Orinala and the rest. Oh, I think I have a little bit of movement left too. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, at the end of your turn, Ashruth is going to do a legendary action to do something. But you don't
Right.
know what, because you can't see him.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Morzod, it is your turn.
Morzod is kind of looking at how everyone is and what just happened in the past couple of seconds. And he's gonna call out to Ashruth. And he's gonna yell out, "Here, fella, Lord Ruith, I've got a question. You wanted a fight, but do you want like an actual proper one? Because this ain't gonna be one."
Interesting. Give me persuasion, please.
Persuasion. Okay. Let's go pretty fruit. That's a natty one.
Oh no.
What does inspiration do again? Is that just an extra die?
Yeah.
Inspiration, if you've got the inspiration, not bardic, lets you re-roll the die completely.
Well, I've got one of those. Let me do it again, please.
Now's
You've
the
got
time, I
it.
think.
Yeah. Do it.
Well
So
remembered.
I'm just gonna do that, and all right, that's a 20. Plus a 20.
Hey, there we go.
Okay. All right.
Hey, oh, goodness, excuse me.
So, Morzod, you say that, and then Ash Ruith reappears, almost stepping out of the shadows, much closer to all of you than he was a moment ago. He has his bow drawn, another blood arrow has appeared. And,
now that he's appeared, Morzod is making the most directest eye contact he can.
And he says, "What kind of fight did you have in mind?"
One that'd actually be worth having a fight for. This ain't gonna be a fight, it's gonna be a shame.
All right, it sounds like we're negotiating for the moment, so I'm going to pause initiative, except Dagmar, you might want to get out of the... in fact, Dagmar, I think you have to take moonbeam damage.
Commando roll.
And fall to the ground. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
So...
Please don't kill me. The die does what the die
Do it,
does.
I've seen it.
Yeah, because
Moonbeam, you said? That's the one.
even if Kui were to cancel Moonbeam, it's not their turn until after your turn, so you'd have to take the damage.
I know, that's fine. That makes sense.
And the damage is going to be a fair amount.
Stunning.
So I roll 6 of those.
Oh, no.
So many clicks.
It is 33 points of radiant damage.
Roll
Okay.
like guardsman.
And
Hitting like a Astartes.
another 3 for the fall damage. So you will take 15 points of bludgeoning damage, unless you can... unless you have a feat or something that lets you reduce that with, I don't know, acrobatics or something.
She does got some
No.
kind of roguey thing, don't you?
I have a bunch of roguey
Like
things.
A reaction?
I don't have anything that helps me land.
No, not a monk, sadly.
No.
But
So is
you
that
do
taking
have,
15?
No, it's
did
not
you
a
have-
dex save
oh.
on Moonbeam, is it?
No. It's a constitution save.
Oh,
And
that's
I
right.
don't
Sorry.
think
I do need a
I don't think-
constitution save from you, Dagmar. And if you succeed, you will
okay.
take half damage from the half of that radiant damage, not all of it.
Double check
Sure.
that. Am I
Uh,
right?
Yes, I
Evasion's only
completely
dex.
forgot.
Okay. Whew.
And I should have
so that
remembered
dex saving throw.
because my mum keeps throwing this
Con
at
for
my
Moonbeam.
Con.
Oh,
monsters.
con. All right. Well, it was only 14 anyway.
So evasion or anything? What's the other one
No.
rogues do?
Uncanny
Um,
dodge, but that's when you get hit.
Yeah.
that's when you
Yeah,
get hit.
uncanny dodge is hit with an attack, and
That's what I was
evasion
thinking
is
of.
pretty nebulous. I don't think it like counts for AOE magic
Evasion's dex
spells.
saves only.
Dex, yeah. So
fireballs
fireballs
and
is what
stuff like
it's
that,
built for.
Yeah,
Sorry,
like
you fail on that save, so you do take the full damage that you'd already been given.
So that was the full damage, and then it was 15 on top of that for the landing.
15 bludgeoning as you then hit the ground, but that's substantially less than it would have been had you not flown down.
Good. Well, Dagmar is what you like to call bloodied plus looking pretty rough.
Okay.
Horrific.
Can I assume that you will then step out of the moonbeam?
Yes. Dagmar is going to do what I'm going to call flee, which is a combination of move away and hide. Or can I do both of those?
Okay. So,
I
and
was
yeah,
like, disengage. She's going to disengage.
you don't need to
No, she's gonna hide.
disengage because you're not in melee combat, but you can use your bonus action to hide if you can.
Yeah, we're going to hide.
There's plenty of cover down there. It's pretty easy. So you are,
Dagmar's diving straight into a shrub.
yeah. So,
The less bloody shrub.
we are
if there is one.
negotiating as Ash Ruith raises, basically draws the arrow back into his arm, and then raises
Ew.
his arm to tell his cronies to stand down for a moment, or to at least hold their fire, if not necessarily take you out of their sights.
Mm.
Morzod, you seem to be the one doing the talking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looks like. So yeah, he said, "What did you have in mind?" And Morzod said, "A real fight. This isn't a fight. This is a shame."
And Ashruith says, "This wasn't my idea. I was heavily minding my own business. I wouldn't even have been here if your friend there hadn't invited me."
Morzod kind of he's got kind of an orky mood, and he sort of feels like he might have even just a little bit of kinship with this guy because of orky mood. And he's like, "Yes, but you was pleased to have a fight. I can tell."
And he says, "Oh, absolutely. That's what I live for. It's what anyone lives for, though few are prepared to admit it."
Bloody good time is what, but it's not a bloody good time if you poke them and they fall over because they really, really need to stop and take a breath because they've come here straight from fighting some other chuds.
He says, "Oh, perhaps less entertaining for myself, but still making the world a better place, getting rid of the weak."
But wouldn't you prefer something that's a bit more fun?
What did you have in mind?
Well, look, we need to take a rest, or else we are absolutely going to fall over. I can tell just by them poles that you're throwing at us. But if we have had a chance for that, then we may actually give you maybe a bit of your run for your money.
He says, "What I'm hearing is that you are basically begging for mercy."
And?
And
Argus is biting his tongue throughout this entire conversation.
And he says, "That means you deserve to die."
I know what the love of a fight is like, and you're passing up something that would be a great deal of fun.
He says, "Oh, you really don't understand it, was it? Such a shame. I had expected more from someone of your ancestry. It's not just about the love of the fight. It's about improving the world, about destroying the weak. Only the strong deserve to live. And you've come here in a moment of weakness, and you should pay for it."
Is it obvious that negotiations have broken down?
Are you going to pick the wuss way?
What would Vitericus think, having heard that?
Passive insight's 23.
All right, with that, you think Ashruith, you think he's basically decided he's going to kill you all right here and now.
Yeah.
Okay. Zindi, how much further do you want to push Morzod's negotiations?
Look, Morzod's actually kind of disappointed that this guy now doesn't want a bigger fight.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. I'm not a face. I'm very stupid.
You're a beautiful face.
I mean, I've got +8 to my persuasion, but as far as the actual meta having cool brains to do stuff like Doug does, I don't really.
Well,
Okay. Apologies. That was a slight metagame.
I will ask Morzod to give me another persuasion roll, please.
Mm-hmm. Because I guess I will say that Morzod's disappointment in this guy not being as cool and fighty as he thought he might have been is pretty palpable.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Vitericus has basically readied the talk action for when negotiations fail.
And that's a flaccid 20 again.
Okay. And
so yeah, Morzod's kind of deflating a little bit, like, I don't know, this guy isn't an awesome orky warlord.
Ashruith says, "How about this, my fire-blooded friend? What if your friends stand down, my friends stand down, and you and I hash this out?"
God.
1v1 me, bro.
Hmm?
1v1 me, bro.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's just said.
Let me solo him.
No magic, no items. Final destination.
Yeah, Fox only.
No summons.
Or staying out of this. This is none of his business. Quit of the winners, as far as he's concerned. Hit the brick.
Yeah, Mozart's gonna fight this guy.
Okay.
That's absolutely what
That's
he
not
would
fine.
do. Because his friends get a chance to get away.
God, you're also self-sacrificing.
Is that
All right.
right? You're on.
And he says, well, may the best of us win. And, okay, Morzod, don't re-roll initiative in Foundry. Can you just roll initiative on your character sheet, please?
Yeah. Okay. Flash 20.
Oh, nice. And I'll get Ashworth to do a roll. Oh, natural 20. For a total of 27. So Ashruith is going first. Otherwise, you're all keeping the same initiative, but I'm assuming you're going to honour your part of the agreement and stay, or honour what Morzod agreed to and stay out of the fight. But we shall see, I guess. I can see.
Agreed to, right, though? Staying out of the fight directly? Right.
Sorry?
We're just staying out of their fight directly, right? We can still do stuff, right?
I mean, Ashriel said that our dudes would stand down and his dudes would stand down, and it's just him and Morzod gonna fight it out.
Yeah, we can do other stuff. We're just not fighting him or his dudes or interfering.
I mean, I guess that depends on how you interpret what he said.
I'm interpreting it.
Okay. So Ashruith is going to go all out and use all 3 of his attacks with his bow to shoot Morzod.
We're not even gonna stand and have a dramatic moment before we. Oh, this guy is like.
Battle
Well, okay, we can
flying and...
we can do that if you like.
No. If he wants to come out swinging immediately after Morzod has said, "Yeah, right, you're on," then we can do
Doesn't
it.
even bow when he's summoned in. What a prick.
Right?
I thought it was going to be a
Seriously.
dramatic, like, ring of blood weed on the
like,
ground.
set it up and,
No,
like,
no,
you
no.
know.
He's not one.
This guy has no flair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, this is.
I do take points off for lack of flair, Ashruith.
big points off for lack of flair. Morzod's still a little bit disappointed, but going mano a mano is satisfying to Orky.
So I
Let's do
assume
this.
that Morzod will be hit by a 27, a 26, and a 30.
Yep.
Yes.
Do I barbs him? Doesn't matter. There's
I
2 hits anyway.
Ooh.
I mean,
I don't think you're allowed.
Kind of
Yeah, I think
weird.
as soon as you interfere, like, we're all going to die. Again. You twice.
So the first arrow hits you for 15 points of piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
Second hits for 22 points of piercing damage.
Oh my God.
22.
Third hits for 21 points of piercing damage. And can you give me a Constitution saving throw,
20
please?
and 21, you said?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And a con save. Where is my thing? And I've got the +3 and the +1 and all of that kind of thing. And it's a 20.
That is
Did you bless
success.
yourself? Did you bless yourself, by the way? Just...
Yeah, I blessed everyone.
Yeah, cool. Just don't forget the
And you've
bless
got
addition as
+3
well.
from your auras of fuck you.
Yeah. I've got lots of auras.
So good news, you don't start bleeding.
Good. Bad news, 25 health.
And that is Ashruith's turn, though he... No, he's going to stay where he is. Yep. Okay, Morzod.
Alright, so, like, how far away from him am I? Because I really just want to fly in and smash him in the face, but I don't know if I can.
30 feet, give or take, plus some height.
Yeah.
You've got a
Can
flight
I-
of 60, so...
Can I do that? Can I just fly
Yep.
straight down there?
You can definitely go toe-to-toe.
Yep. Right, yeah. Let's do that. And I guess change my altitude as well.
Yeah, I'll take care of that.
Okay, cool beans. Well, look, I'm straight up gonna roll and hope to smite. This is what I got, man.
Okay.
So actions. Oh, he's probably got like ridiculous to hit though, so I'm probably gonna like seriously whiff and immediately die. More.
But what a way to die.
Seriously, face first into a god. He's gonna shout, "Right, you gits, leg it," as he's flying in. By the way, because he's got no illusions of subtlety. 26.
That hits.
Excellent. I am gonna smite the ever-loving fuck out of him. I have a top level, 4th level slot, and I am absolutely doing it. Searing smite. Yeah. Oh wait, do I press that before or after? Christ. Anyway.
Oh, so roll to hit, do your damage with your weapon if you hit, and then do your smite.
Yeah, I did roll
I mean, you've
hit.
already done the smite.
We can keep that smite damage.
Keep
That's
that,
fine.
Yeah, and then 7 for the actual hit.
Okay, so it's a total of 30 points of damage,
Mm-hmm.
which is not bad for a war skillet.
Yeah, that's right. You may think we're weak, but I just hit you in the face with a skillet. How do you like that? And I'm gonna roll to try and hit him again. I'm allowed to do that.
You are, yep.
Yeah. 28.
That hits.
Yep. Now, what smites have I got left? Unfortunately, yeah.
I don't think you can cast another smite.
Can't do a second smite. I think we talked about this last time. I can't do the spell one, but I can do the innate one.
Yes.
The improved divine smite.
So you can't do searing smite, but you could just do a smite.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's whenever you hit, you can smite.
Yep. So improved divine smite is the other one that I got here. So I'll roll my damage, which is another 12.
Cool.
And then my radiant damage is an 8.
Okay.
Is he on fire from the searing smite?
I
Let
believe
me check
it
how you do
does
that.
set him on fire. Yep. Does an extra
Flares with
1d...
white hot intensity, 1d6.
Yeah, it does an extra 1d6 fire damage.
Oh, he takes con saves and takes 1d6. And if he fails, he has to do it again.
Cool. Okay.
So he's on fire until he succeeds a con save.
So, while we'll have Ashruth's go in a moment, but we'll just lump the rest of you in together. What are the rest of you doing while this duel begins?
I mean, Dagmar can't hear a fucking thing, can she? She's just 120 feet away. In a bush.
With your passive perception, I think you've heard it.
Right, okay. Okay, well, Dagmar is currently peeping upwards between some leaves.
Can Aussie free fly back over to next to Vitericus?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. What are we doing? Are we letting this happen?
Aussie, am I intervening? I cannot commit to this unless someone tells me I should this time around.
Tell me what you're doing.
I am going to scare the shit out of Ashruth.
Okay.
Is it your Nylox
I think
God Eater situation, or?
I think that's it. That's one turn of conversation. Probably more than
Okay. Great.
And so it is Ashruth's turn again.
I thought we were free chatting. I'm sorry, I wouldn't work.
And Ashruth
I got the wolves.
is going to the bow is actually going to retract into his arm, sort of dissolve into blood, and
Nasty.
It is so gross.
and in his other
Very
out of his
sticky.
other hand, a spear appears.
This guy is mighty unhygienic.
And
He's gonna get a blood infection.
I think he's already got one.
Hope you like septicemia, buddy.
Toxic shock syndrome, let's go.
and he basically goes full on Hector and Troy, or or even Brad Pitt as Achilles. Just jab, 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 with a 26, a 25, and a 28.
Yep, Mozart's dead.
Okay.
For sure.
We'll roll the damage first.
Dead or unconscious?
5 rats.
Okay, unconscious. Not
So
dead.
that's 19 plus 16 plus 16.
Jesus fuck.
Yep.
Plus you're an orc. So, or half orc.
Yeah. Oh man, so I get up again.
So
Yeah.
it's important, when do you go down to 0? Which of those
When you
hits?
are reduced to 0 but not killed.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
So I'm on 1 HP now.
but at which
You are
was it?
Which
Chumbawambering.
attack?
Was it the
put you
third
down?
attack that brought you down to 0?
What were the numbers again? I'll put them in and we'll see.
19.
But it won't be the third.
19.
19
16.
doesn't kill me. 16 does get me.
Okay.
Okay.
So that means it's going to be jab, jab, you go down, but you're still standing, and then
And then
another
the
jab.
third one.
And
Yeah.
now you're unconscious. You're not dead,
Yeah.
you're incapacitated.
Yes, and I'm also 120 feet in the air.
And
Surely you would have flown over a branch or something at that point.
you
I
were
mean-
over a branch, but it's not. That is
Level
not a
1.
big branch that you're just going to, definitely land on like a floor. It is. You know what? Give me a D20. Hope it's good.
D20, roll and deep. And that's 91.
Okay.
Oh,
So it does not break your fall.
Nope.
And you fall all the way to the ground, unless one of you can cast Featherfall or something like that.
I can't do Featherfall, but I can reach him and Dimension Door to the ground if you'd allow me to.
Not as a reaction, though, I'm afraid.
Not as a reaction, unfortunately.
It would have to be available as a reaction. So
Hang
Morzod,
on,
you're going
let me
to
just flip. Let me flip through my spellbook real quick.
Morzod, you're going
Please
to
continue.
hit the ground, immediately fail 1 death saving throw.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay.
But it is at this point that there is a sudden strong wind blows through the forest. All of the leaves, the branches sway, and Vitericus, you will see Ashruith was not expecting this. He looks up, and you can't really read his face, but he is definitely responding, because there's a great big mask in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
But he is definitely responding in a "oh, didn't see that coming" kind of way. The Dryad, Vitericus, you will see that she has suddenly turned quite fearful.
Mm-hmm.
But Ashruith, well, first, just before that happens, Ashruith, as he jabs Morzod, as the body starts to fall, he will just look down and say, oh, "Fucking pussy," and then, but then the wind comes and he seems surprised. And Dagmar and Vitericus, with your passive perception, you'll see a tiny Microraptor flying down to Morzod's body.
Wonderful. Do we have a turn somewhere in here?
Yes, what are you going to do?
Just do
Dagmar
it.
is currently
Yes,
screaming
it's-
at seeing Morzod fall out of the sky.
We don't have
so
a good
she is
track
probably
record of
going
falling out of trees.
to leave the bush and just like screech over his corpse.
Or
She's-
maybe
she's
give him
not-
a health potion if you have one.
He's not dead yet. I've
His
still
chest
got...
isn't
dead.
ruptured like
Not
Lydia's
dead.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well-
He bounced, apparently. At least a bit.
She will, in the course of screaming, empty a health potion in the general area of his mouth.
Okay, so it goes up his
General.
nose, but
Yeah, but it's,
As long as it gets in there.
he's taken liquids differently before. It's fine.
Is slapping him a lot as well. There's just a lot of slapping.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
don't die, you piece of shit.
Mhm.
and Morzod, you are healed up. So, what health potion are you, Dagmar, are you dropping into him?
I'm giving him my other good one. Because apparently I just keep them on hand to stop my friends from dying.
I mean, that's a good reason to keep potions on hand.
That's fine. I bought several.
Yeah.
So that's a potion of greater healing,
Okay.
which is 4d4 plus 4. Do I roll that or does
I think you
Morsey?
roll that.
Up to you.
4d4. Why can I never remember which one the d4 is?
It's a pyramid.
A little
Roll.
caltrip. Yeah.
It's a little pyramid. So he gets 12
Yeah,
plus
pyramid.
4.
So how does this work? Undead myself?
Just add 16 health back to your...
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll automatically pop you back up.
Cool.
Mhm.
Well, 160 is not what I took my hand off the chest piece. However, okay, new HP is apparently 17 because I get +1 for coming back to life. I don't know.
Well
how
done.
that- I
No, you already popped
No, it
back to
should-
life with your
yeah.
1. You
That
can't
should be
use that
it
again.
should be 16. It's just not
Yep.
20.
Just
not
take it-
20.
just take a point off.
As soon
Yeah,
as
yeah, no problem.
Morzod is coughing and spluttering, Dagmar is just going to try and drag him back into the bush.
Okay.
Cool.
And Orsi and Vitericus, you can hear Morzod coughing and spluttering, so you gather
Oh,
that
good.
he is not unconscious or dying at the moment.
I then am going to pull the gilded card that Dagmar made for me out of my deck. Look directly at Ashruith and say, Ashruith, I name you coward for fleeing the celestial plane, and you are recalled. And somewhere in there, I'm going to switch to the voice of the God Eater.
Nice.
And then I'm going to cast Spirit of Death at him. And the shape that Spirit of Death will take is a featureless, white, brilliant shape reaching out from my card as light refracts out of my diamond heart through the card towards Ashruith.
Okay.
Oh,
Are there any
yeah.
saves
There's an
involved in
image.
that?
See,
Nope,
now I've got
it's a summon.
player.
It's a summon. Okay.
Yes.
We're doing summons.
Does he
Are you
believe?
summoning the...
Does the spell say that he believes what he is seeing?
No, basically I call forth a spirit that embodies death itself.
Okay.
So it's all flavor, except it has an ability that lets me instill fear into the haunted creature.
Okay.
And it gets to go at the like when I summon it, so...
I just need to check a few things. Okay. So, this thing appears, and he looks at it, and then looks at you and says, "Nice try." He is immune to being frightened.
I was going to say.
Well, that's fine.
Do I get a turn in that case?
Well, it's at this point that the leaves that have been blown up by the wind start to coalesce into... they swirl around, and again it has caught Ashruith's attention as you think he's realised what's happening, and you hear him go, "Oh, about the fucking time." And the leaves coalesce into a figure, a humanoid form. She has the appearance of an elf, probably a wood elf, and she's fit, lithe. Her body is covered in very intricate tattoos in patterns that resemble like the capillaries on leaves, and that sort of in the veins on leaves. And she is initially naked, but moments after she appears, the leaves cling to her body and form...
Fig leaf.
yeah, basically form
Just the one.
a dress. and her long flowing green hair braids itself behind her back, and she alights herself. I don't have a token for her. I was doing artwork, but it sucked, so you're not going to see it. But
Real better.
she alights here on one of the branches, and
That can just be a fig leaf. Do it through
looks over at Asheruth and says, "Brother, what have you done here?" And with that, we're going to take a short break. So we will be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. And we are back. So our heroes have been fighting, talking to and fighting Asheruth, the god of predation and murder, who's basically earned his title by almost murdering Morzod. But it seems that Morzod's persuasion, conversation and duel has paid off, as it effectively stalled Asheruth to allow something to happen behind the scenes. The thing that Orinala did, that I secretly did a roll to see how long it would take for it to come into effect, and I rolled poorly, so it was going to take a long time, and if they'd all just kept fighting Asheruth as they were, they might not have lived that long, to be honest. So it seems to have worked out in their favour. You have all seen this figure appear, manifest on this branch of the tree. A wood elf, very leafy, natural vibes about her. I think most of you can probably guess who this is, as she looks at Asheruth and says, "Brother, what have you done?" And Asheruth says, "Oh, I haven't done anything. Remember, we're not supposed to interfere in each other's business. I've just watched and enjoyed." And at this point, Orinala in micro raptor form flies up and transforms back into her elf self, and as soon as she does so, she then collapses onto her knees in front of who you've all by now figured out is Val, the goddess of the wilds and of nature. And Val says, "Oh, please, no, don't do that. I heard your calls. I had not realized how far he would go to get my attention." And Asheruth says, "Well, it worked though. Here you are."
Smarmy son of a bitch.
And she looks at the rest of you, at Orinala and the rest of you, and says, "So there is going to be no point in me asking him for the truth of what is happening here. He will lie through his teeth to get whatever he wants, so I will have to trust you to please explain the situation to me."
He's stolen your tree.
We're still up in the air.
I mean, you lot are.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Dagmar and Morzod are on the ground. Assume Morzod can't
gosh.
fly anymore. Does the fly effect fade because he fell?
Because he died.
I feel like because he went unconscious, I feel
Yeah.
like it would fall. Yeah.
However, Dagmar is down there with... Oh, the broom is still... it's unmagic for another 9 minutes at this point.
Fall nearby. I'm guessing it's.
Can we, not to interrupt your eminences, can we perhaps have this conversation on the ground?
She looks down at the ground and pulls the face and says, I do much prefer it up here, but... Oh, you're scared of falling. I understand. Very well.
I mean, we can land on the branches. That's fine.
Branches of, I mean, the rest of our party is down there, and I would like them to be part of this conversation. We are all going to be civil about it.
Dagmar will wave upwards.
And she says, very well, brother, will you join us? And she steps off the branch and feather falls down to the ground. And Ashruith leaps off and goes into a 3-point landing. Very dramatic. And Orinala will... I'll do an acrobatics check for her as she makes her way down the tree.
Come on, she climbs trees for breakfast.
Yeah, yeah. This is just mainly just how good is it going to look. Yep, no problem. She manages to nimbly make her way down and land on the ground, and you are all now gathered on the ground. Let me get rid of this. Well, let me hide this overlay. And I'll get rid of the moonbeam as well. So you're on the ground. You can see you are now very much at the heart of the corruption of the Grimwood. The Sanguine River, you can clearly understand where it got its name from. It's flowing through this area. It is red with what appears to be blood. There is red weed. Basically, all the plant life around here is red, without exception. And it is a harrowing sight for example, a wood elf who loves nature. And you can see Orinala is, visibly almost shaking with anger at this point as she lands. And you get the impression that Val is not impressed either. But is...
what's Kui up to?
Kui is towing the line at the moment. As is the Dryad.
They did get told to stop.
Yes, they are being good beaters. Because they've been corrupted into this ridiculous notion of alphas and betas.
Oh.
That tempts me.
We got incelled.
No, there's so much more to it. We can do so much more with that. I'll talk to you later, Connor.
Okay.
The God Eater avatar looking thing is hovering a respectful distance away from Ashruith, but it hasn't dissipated yet. After a minute, it'll dissipate anyway, but it's still hanging around.
Okay, can anyone else see that, or only Ashruith?
Yes, 100%. It is summoned and there.
Oh my god, the spirit of death is just hanging over our heads.
Val has
Castlevania. It's all
Val has taken special note of its appearance.
Biddy really wants to do the damage that was lined up. So badly.
But
So bad.
Val says, now, what is happening here?
Mozart has done all of the talking that he feels safe to do. he's just going to leave it to Fitty now.
You know what?
All right.
No, actually, no, Vitericus, you're not talking. You got us into this.
All right.
Right. So what happened was, we've been following the trail of this blood weed. It's been turning people into crazy zombie creatures who started attacking anything on sight. So we thought, oh, we should get back to that. And we did, and it looks like it got worse. So we came back here to try and find out where the missing wizard had gone. They weren't wizards. But we tracked a rat. He got lost in a tree. Now we're here. We met Orinala. And it's worse. It's horrible in here. And apparently this tree is your titan. And now it's also covered in red stuff. So I don't know. I don't purport to know the whims of the god. But it seems like Ashruth did it. Not pointing fingers. I'm just stating facts.
I also think Ashworth did it. No offense.
And Orinala says, these four came to me. They were looking into the red weed, the blood root, and I had heard of it and was unsure what to do, so I prayed to you, and you heard me. And Val says, I did. As I recall, I showed you where to go, and Orinala says, yes, and I actually saw where to go, and I saw your tree, and I felt its pain, and so I guided these people here. I felt I had to do something. I thought you wanted me to do something. And Val says, oh, my dear child, I answered your prayer. I did not know the depths to which this one would go. Had I known, I would not have sent you here without my help. And at this point, Ashruth says, Sister, what have I done here exactly? I've simply shown you how things could be. I've shown you how things should be. You claim to be the god of nature and wildlife, but you don't embrace what that truly means. You just keep to yourself. You hide in that forest of yours. You play a hermit. You ignore the world. And the world will eat you sooner or later. I'm just trying to help here. Trying to show you what you need to be. And are any of you going to, you can see Val is thinking her response over. Are any of you going to say anything?
No, Mozart's...
Claire.
Yeah, Mozart's just looking real disappointed at Ashruth, honestly.
Vitericus is staring daggers at Ash. And looks like he's about to speak, so if anyone wants to, like, elbow him in what's left of his ribs and tell him to shut up, now is the time.
Vitericus, you can say one thing. That's it.
Dagmar thinks this sounds like creepy bullshit, so I think she's fine with Vitericus saying something.
Do not dig us deeper in, Vitericus.
Damn it. Okay, well, I'm not going to say what I was going to say then.
Oh my god.
Val looks at Vitericus and says, you have something you'd like to add?
Oh, he always does.
Oh, you know what? Just go for it. We can't get any worse, can it?
Ash, do you remember your promise? The
Oh,
day you
God.
fled the celestial plane like a panicked hadrosaur.
I
Oh,
thought you were just
goodness.
gonna call him a fucking weirdo.
I know. I thought I was just going to insult him or something. This is so much worse. Just go on. Just fine.
What you promised to do to, and I will swap into Bob's voice for this, not make too much of a mess down there.
Wow. Okay. I'm not even going to make you do an insight check. Your passive perception will see that both Ashruith and Val are really quite taken aback that you're even aware of this.
You are breaking the rules.
And Val will say to you, Vitericus, breaking the... How do you know about this?
Entirely unimportant for today's conversation.
And she looks at Ashruith and says, perhaps, but we will have that conversation.
Of course. Anytime you like, just not right now.
Oh,
And she looks at Ashruith and says, he does have a point. You are making a mess.
Also a
Even-
huge dick.
Even worse, you're making a mess of what is mine. And I would try not to take it personally, but I know this is entirely personal for you, isn't it? And Ashruith says, well, it might feel painful to you. It might upset you. But this is where strength comes from. And this is what I have, and this is what you need. You need to see this world for the truth. You need to know. And he looks at the four of you. He looks at everyone around him, and he says, while we are bound to this world, we need to live. We need to be of this world. The others will figure it out sooner or later. You and I. We can get there first. We can take control right now. Imagine.
We're not so different, you and I. Join me.
Vitericus is melodramatically upset, like, not upset, disappointed with Ashruith. Like
And Val says, what you think is natural is a construct, a desire, a bizarre, false narrative constructed by the dregs of society to excuse their bloodlust. This is not natural. This is the opposite of what I am. And you have 5 seconds to get out of my forest. So, I'm going to do an intimidation roll
Ooh,
for a
nice stuff.
goddess.
Does she
Does she get
advantage? She's
advantage?
got like her Titan right there.
I will say with advantage. Yeah.
yeah, get a girl.
Yep.
Hey. Fuck
Get
him
the
up.
fuck out of my house.
I choose to believe that she's played by Harrison Ford and just went, get off my plane.
Val looks at the rest of you and says, the hunt is on. And then disappears, teleports away, you believe.
Oh,
Does he take
okay.
the
Wait,
total,
Val?
Yes, and sorry, Ashruith will teleport away, and he will take Kui,
Kui and the Dryad?
but not the Dryad,
Hmm.
because the Dryad is bound to the tree.
Man, Kui is in
Stupid
another castle.
Stupid shit from the Spirit of Death. Did Ashruith teleport anywhere on the same plane of existence we are currently on?
Maybe.
I know direction to and distance from him if he did.
Yes, in that case.
Where is he?
I will need to get a sense of where that is. So please bear with me a moment.
I should
Inside
have
the
stuck him with
volcano.
Hush.
That would work.
Please, I want to go inside the volcano so
Oh
badly.
man, yeah. Actually, where is his Skull Island?
Okay.
Is he on a skull inside the volcano?
Is
Could
it
be
in the
weird.
Titan skull?
Are you able to... Is there a maximum distance?
Same plane of existence.
Same plane of existence. And so you can know...
If he's on the moon, I know it.
You know direction and distance, yes?
Direction and distance.
Okay.
Gonna be Final Fantasy IV all over again.
He has gone roughly 40 to 50 miles to the west northwest.
Ooh, deeper into the island.
Yeah.
Cool. What's there?
You check your map.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
have a look.
West to northwest, you say, of the Grimwood.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so out past,
Yeah, it would
away
be
from Val's Embrace, but the other side of Val's Embrace to where we've been before.
probably, well, west northwest, so more west than north.
Okay.
So basically
Yep,
to
yep,
the
yep.
west of Lake Keldrith.
Okay, so some kind of wolf forest.
Oh, in the wolf forest.
Or
Interesting.
Arengan, which is
Yep.
the elf name for it.
There. Wonderful. All right, well, that's fine. I will relay that to everyone as my Spirit of Death dissipates. All right, he's in the wolf forest.
He's just got
Okay,
no
well, you can stay
imagination,
there.
has he? Listen,
And
this guy needs some theatrical lessons.
Val says, I suspect wolves, his titans were first encountered there, and that is how the forest earned its name.
They were here last night, somewhere.
And she
True,
says,
Orsi doesn't have long to live, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you
Of
heard the
course.
wolf cry, right? They're going to get you.
Yeah, and then
Hear
you
them, it's
die.
already too late.
Yeah, for you.
Val
You're the only
says,
one who heard them.
speaking of titans, and she looks up at a tree and says, oh, this poor thing. I knew
Oh,
something
yes.
was wrong, but I've been in seclusion far too long. And
Do
she
you
looks
require
at-
an assist?
I mean, this red stuff on the top of the tree is kind of like a parasite, right?
Yes.
that my
I
understanding?
was just going to blight it off.
Right. So really, the god of predation and murder, who wanted to have a good fight, all he could do was, I mean, I don't mean to antagonize him, I know he just left, but like, all he could do was a parasite, really? All
He
right.
doesn't want a good fight. Didn't we establish that? He just wants to kill things.
Yeah.
True.
Correct.
Val says, yes.
Parasite seems a bit pathetic, but sure.
Val says, yes, Ashruith has no interest in honor. He does not. He might make such claims. He might talk about shows of strength or something like that. But he is not a fighter. He is a killer.
Yeah.
I fought
The way
in my
he spoke
pain.
to you was very parasite-y.
I fought for a minute.
I mean,
in
more
my
full of
vein
piss and
thought,
vinegar
"Oh,
because he's
enjoyed a
not here."
good fight, but no.
No,
Yeah.
it's all right, Morzor. We'll find you someone who enjoys a good
Mm.
fight.
We'll go
Um,
to a bar.
She says, what disturbs me most about what he said is he seems to believe or anticipate a holy war, so to speak. He thinks the gods will turn on each other.
Of course you will.
I mean, you're kind of a dysfunctional family. And that's saying something coming from me.
Yeah, and she says,
Pretty
And-
bad.
I get the impression that you have met more of my brothers and sisters, and that
Oh,
you
yeah.
know much more about how we came to be here than
Mm-hmm.
anyone was supposed to.
I would get around.
Yeah.
Rhetoricus makes a Naya stinker face.
And she says,
Would you believe it was all by accident?
Fate simply swirl around us,
A
don't they?
building exploded, and now we know how the gods got here.
We just wanted to like come here and find jobs.
and she says,
I had a job.
first,
Of course, you already had an employer. We just followed anyway.
first we must, well, I must do something about this. She looks over at the dryad, who is basically she's sitting and sort of rocking with her head on her knees, like she's been abandoned, left behind, and there might be some as a result there's some awareness has come back to her of what she is and what she was. And so Val is first going to walk over to the dryad and cast Greater Restoration.
Nice.
Which, and you all see a glow of brilliant, radiant light. And for there are several seconds during which the dryad actually starts screaming in agony as the corruption is burned out of her system. But afterwards, she just collapses into Val's arms and starts crying uncontrollably. It's just utterly inconsolable about
Ugly cry.
everything she's been made to do for... Well, everything that... Not that she's been made to do, but that she decided to do because she had certain parts of her instincts enhanced. And so it's as much a revelation about the darker side of herself as it is about what was done to her. And after a while, Val then says something quietly to the dryad, and the dryad calms down and is able to, has some control over herself again. And Val then stands and says, I will need some help for this. I do not even know your names.
Fine, let's fix the tree first, and then we can do names.
And she says, well, and she looks at Orinala, who very sheepishly says, I'm Orinala. And Val says, well, Orinala, I very much need your help. She looks over at the four of you and looks at Morzod and says, I sense one of my brothers. I sense his breath upon yours, it might be said. I think he would see the worth of this, even if he might not leap to fix it himself. Would you help me?
Absolutely.
And looks at the rest of you. And what of the rest of you? This will take more strength than I have, and it might cost you something for a time, but the more you can give, the lighter the cost it will be for each of us.
I mean,
Indeed,
I've
I can
got
do
like
that.
20 rat bites and no magic, but yeah, whatever.
Biddy, you've got whatever you did to that other tree, right?
Well, that's the thing, right? If you need me to clear off the weed on top, I can, I assume, or see how long can I fly for? I can climb up there and clear that off.
Hour, less than an hour, maybe 30 minutes.
All right.
He's got a thing that kills plants.
Like, why
And-
would you
In
tell...
a good way. Maybe
I thought we weren't antagonizing them
plants.
anymore.
Invasive weeds.
oh, that's right.
He's a
Yes.
weed whacker.
Val says,
So that he is.
I understand the need of such magics. Under the circumstances, I think I would rather help the tree fight for itself. I fear that while the two are so strongly entwined that if I were to attack the parasite, the tree might suffer too. So we are going to remind the tree of what it is and what it can be.
Do you need our life essence?
She smiles and says, "That's not how I would phrase it. I need..."
Oh my god, this is getting a little necromancy for me.
Stare at this crystal and your essence will reflect out into the tree.
She says, in all beings such as ourselves, there is a well of energy. I believe the scholarly among you refer to it as mana.
Okay, I'm more okay with that.
And
That's fine.
she looks
Do I
at...
have mana?
She looks
You can
at...
have it.
Sure we do.
She looks at Dagmar and says, and even those of us who choose not to use it still possess it. It is part and parcel of having a soul.
Oh, nice. Sure, you can have whatever chunks of my soul you want.
I'm already missing a bit, but we'll see how we go.
A demon, a devil
Can we
asked for some. I said no.
Let's just stop
You seem
bringing
nice.
things up. I think all of us overshare a lot. I too am guilty. Yeah.
We've got a lot of trauma to work through.
And
So
Val
excited
says,
to meet a god who doesn't want to
well,
just pound me into the ground.
will you please do as I do? And she walks up to the massive base of the tree and puts both of her hands on it. Invites you all to do so around the tree.
Sure.
Sure.
Mozart's got the
Glow will also do it.
stable stance.
Okay.
Aww.
He's ready.
And Orinala and the Dryad both join. And Val speaks something in... she is going to be speaking Celestial, I think. Can any of you understand that?
Ooh, yes, I can.
Okay. So she is basically going to be saying words to the effect of, you have stood here for, many centuries. You earned your place here. You earned your strength that you built. This is your home. Do not let the invader win. Here, take of us. We will help you in your fight. And I will need all of you to give me some Constitution saving throws, please.
Wonderful.
Do we get +3?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's more gods nearby. Vitericus is specifically going to channel all of the quiet stillness of Dasha that he has anywhere in him into the tree.
Mozart, do I do anything fancy because I'm absolutely in god channeling mode? Like this is something that he has done before?
You can give me advantage on your Constitution roll.
Okay. Advantage.
I got a 9.
Okay.
13.
I got a
21.
21 if we've got
Oh, hell
the
yeah.
Advantage.
Mozzie boost.
So 28 with your own +3.
It stands to reason though, because Mozart is kind of used to action channel god.
Yeah.
So
So
He has a hotkey.
he's a holy man.
Dagmar and Morzod, you only... this is a tiring experience for all of you, but Dagmar and Morzod, you only take 1 point of exhaustion.
we're doing that.
Vitericus and Orsi, you take 2 points of exhaustion.
Where do I put that in?
Jesus.
Yeah, where's that
Click
live
on
again?
conditions. Under your hit points. Conditions. You can go to exhaustion
Hit
and...
points.
Yeah.
Conditions.
So,
ah,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And right down the bottom.
Right down the bottom.
E.
Exhaustion 1.
Cool. I wonder if Vidi's chest starts to cave in just ever so slightly. Not enough to actually do him any damage, but it just starts to like collapse in ever so slightly. And we
Just
start
stop
transferring
glowing
energy over.
quite as much.
So this does mean that, Orsi and Photericus, your speed is halved.
Also looks terrible. No arcane cosmetics.
His makeup's just dripping down his face.
Oh, the mascara is everywhere.
Let us. I do need to roll for Orinala and the Dryad. Ooh, Orinala succeeds.
She gets it.
Ooh, the poor Dryad. She's having a horrible day. She rolls a natural 1.
Oof.
Oh, buddy.
Given what
She
she
just needs
just
a
went
nap
through,
nap.
given
Yeah,
what
She
she's
just needs a
been
nap
through,
nap.
that's fair.
but this takes a while. It takes about a minute. By the end of which most of you really, really want to pull your hands away from this tree. It's becoming quite exhausting. She was not kidding when she said that there would be a price for this. It is a very unpleasant experience that you're going through. But when it's done, and you're all suddenly released, and you hadn't realized that you were almost stuck to the tree as it was pulling this mana out of you, and you suddenly find yourself free to move away. And you can see that even Val is suddenly looking a bit tired.
Hopefully she doesn't fall asleep. Bloody hell, we've had enough of that.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Okay.
She
You
had
can't put every nice god into a coma.
Track record, seriously.
Yeah.
If the four of you had not been there to help, might have been necessary, but and she looks at the four of you and Orinala and says, "Thank you. I'm confident the tree will recover in time, but this forest needs weeding." She looks at the Dryad, who is now back on the ground, and just looks up her, almost in a daze, and just nods wearily, and Val says, "Perhaps you should rest first, my sweet." She looks over at Orinala and says, Your further help would be appreciated here, unless you have duties elsewhere." Orinala looks at the four of you, and she says, I don't know. You think she's hoping you might give her advice on whether to stay here with Val or go back to Kaiwithel with you.
Do you want to go back to Kaiwithel?
I feel like she probably want to stay here with Val.
Like hanging out with your god and fixing a forest is like a really good use of your time.
Yeah.
She says,
"How is this even a choice? Go with her."
Orinala says, Kaiwithel has been... I've known no other home.
Oh, well, go. You've got to get out.
They'll still be there if you choose to go back. Though in
Our
our
youth as elves
Probably.
is for traveling. Young elves travel. We go around, we look at things. You should be doing that. If you're not 700 years old already, then you've got plenty of time.
As you're saying all these things, you can see a smile appear on her face and a glimmer appear in her eyes. And she says, Yes, you are right. I think I am supposed to be here." She turns to Val and says, I will help. I will stay and help, if it pleases you. And Val says, "It more than pleases me. It humbles me. I owe you much already." She looks at the four of you and says, "And what of you? What will you do now?"
Sleep.
We must be off.
Well,
and Vitericus just crumples as he goes, as he turns to leave. It's like,
Yeah.
And
We need to sleep, and then we have a date with some really fussy fucking elves.
gotta go fight a dragon or something.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we ain't seen the last of your brother either.
I'm very tired, but I think I can get us out of here.
yeah, and Val says, yes. And he says the hunt has begun. She looks at where Kui was a moment ago, and says, "I fear he might have already assembled an army of a sort.
Yeah, he really likes druids.
I would ask that you spread the word that there might be, shall we call it, a scarlet chorus on the move soon."
Let's add that to the death cult.
We are going to sound like religious zealots, but sure.
Well, okay. I was just going to tell everyone Ashrilith's a coward, but that's fine.
Not even a hot one.
Right?
No,
I don't suppose
mean,
there's any sort of like proof that we could.
look, it wasn't Gamdanon. I'll say that much.
Val says, "You've seen Gamdanon?"
Oh, absolutely.
He has.
Transported me to his mountain himself, actually,
She
Cause
looks
you were
around,
crying.
sees
Very
that
exclusive.
Orinala is currently kneeling and gently talking to the druid so that they're not listening in, and Val just leans into you, Orsi, and says, "What is he looking like now?"
Seriously. He's huge. Beard, tattoos, sitting on some sort of mountain throne, throwing lightning bolts. Nearly hit us. Great. Oh, check it out. I got a tattoo of his titan. She shows his tattoo.
Oh, that is
Sick, right?
that's impressive. So when we
Nearly got
say
eaten by it.
we talk to each other, we use the term brothers and sisters, but you should understand it is not a familial relationship that we have. It's much more
Oh my god,
complicated
I
than
gotta
that.
go.
I didn't want it to sound weird, that's all. You understand?
I mean, thank you for clarifying.
Gods,
Because it
gods,
did
it's your
to
business.
begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
it
it's
has been a
fine,
little odd, but that's
Um,
good to know.
look,
Get up there.
if you happen to see him again, just no, never mind.
I'll
never
tell him you
mind.
said hi. Tell him you said hi.
Hi.
Well, tell
I'll
him you're
pass on this.
looking great. We'll just drop it into conversation as effortlessly as we just did.
And she says, "Oh,
Right,
there's no need for that." And you can see
Beautiful
that you can see
leaves.
that she is secretly saying, "Please, that is a great idea."
I mean, we've
Very
tried
luscious.
killing and befriending them. Why not hook them up?
And she says, "Well, we should. No, I was about to say we should get to work. We really should not. We should rest. I think you might need to do the same, correct?"
Hugely.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Vitericus is
Don't listen.
on the ground. His legs have given
He's still
out
on the ground.
completely.
Yeah.
Do not listen to him.
That's all right, Vitericus. I'll draw the teleportation circle underneath you.
Are we not just doing the mansion?
Do you want to, or do you want to get out of here?
Let's just stay in a normal hotel.
All right, fine.
No, Vitericus made a good point. I don't want to stay in a normal hotel. I want to stay in my mansion.
In
I didn't
here?
put the two together.
It's a mansion here, or a bed that doesn't smell like, or a room that doesn't smell like blood as soon as we walk out of it. So, like, you know.
Mm.
I
mean-
do.
Fine.
I mean,
I
the thing
do
is,
want to submerge.
because the mansion
giant
lasts
hole.
24 hours, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So you can. It's not very late in the day, but you can just chill in the mansion, then sleep, and then teleport out the next day.
That's true.
That is true.
God has decreed.
You
I'm
can
gonna
have to-
sleep on one of the floaties in the pool.
This
And
way,
yeah, and if
You can do
they
that.
should need us, they can just knock on our door.
That's right.
cool. Okay, so you can conjure up Orsi's ornate owlry.
Yeah. Val, if you would like to have a rest in the match, you're more than welcome. Or not, you too.
And Val will say, "No, I prefer to sleep in the wild." And
You would
Orinala-
like to yourself.
Orinala says, "I think I will stay with Val."
Fair, that's fair.
You got it.
Sure.
She cute.
Okay, well, we'll see. He's already crouched down and he's fasting.
And then, but as you start preparing the spell or analysis, oh, I forgot to say, the four of you, thank you for bringing this to my attention and helping me come here. I would not have survived without your help, and I would not have been aware of all of this without your help. So, thank you.
You're welcome for all the trouble.
Dagmar will
Actually-
give her a slap on the shoulder and try and hoik Vitericus up to his feet.
No,
I don't know if
I'm
I'm-
okay.
He'll be
It's
in
like,
liquid
go on.
boneless mode.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to regret this or not. I might, but and he's going to give her a tiny carved figure of a hadrosaur.
Oh,
Oh.
lovely.
Oh.
Look, this is throwaway. She's kind of special to us.
She says, it is a statue?
Yeah, just give it a little toss and say, "I choose you."
I should do this now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it. Just stand back. Vitericus isn't going to just roll him out of the way.
Ow. Puddle of blood.
Sorry.
Roll me up.
Not
Roll me
again,
up.
not again.
She gives it a throw, says, I choose you. And throw
Oh,
away the Matabarosaurus appears. And she says, oh, you are so beautiful.
With lightning bolts
Yeah.
still painted on her. That's the last thing we did.
She says,
Treat her well.
I cannot take this from you.
No, please. I don't want to explain myself. I just think it's better if you take her.
It really is. It really is.
And
Why not giving her the exercise she needs?
She walks up and
Yeah.
starts sort of stroking its muzzle and says, oh, I can take this from you. Thank you. Thank
I'd
you.
go for it. I thought you could ride her through the jungle and stuff. She'd probably really like it.
oh man, this is so cute.
And as Orsi summons up the owlery, I think this is a good place to finish tonight's session.
Absolutely.
So
Lovely.
thank you, everyone. Well done. You have dealt with the god of murder and predation.
For now.
For
I kind of feel like
now.
we kicked that can down the road.
For now.
That'll come back and bite us in the ass in a few episodes.
But you have perhaps healed, played a role in the eventual healing of some of the land here, which is no small thing, I will say. So, thank you very much for playing, and thank you all for watching. We'll be back next week to find out what's been going on in Kai Wathel in the meantime. Bye.
Oh boy.